This is Father Andrew Ritchie, and you're listening to Catholic Inspiration, a podcast from my website at studyprayserve.com. These homilies, presentations, and retreats form part of my ministry as a Catholic priest for the Diocese of Superior. And now I invite you to open your hearts to some Catholic inspiration. Today is Tuesday, the 26th week of the year. Our Gospel reading is Luke chapter 9, verses 51 to 56. When the days for Jesus to be taken up were fulfilled, he resolutely determined to journey to Jerusalem. And he sent messengers ahead of him. On the way they entered a Samaritan village to prepare for his reception there, but they would not welcome him, because the destination of his journey was Jerusalem. When the disciples, James and John, saw this, they asked, "Lord, do you want us to call down fire from heaven to consume them?" Jesus turned and rebuked them, and they journeyed to another village. All right, so let's set the context. Here in Luke's Gospel, we're getting ready for the journey to Jerusalem. We're at the end of chapter 9 in Luke's Gospel, and the Lord is making this very intentional move from the region of Galilee to the northern part of, around the Sea of Galilee, northern part of Israel. He's moving now south to ascend to Jerusalem. And while he's going, people are going out ahead of him to prepare the way. He's going to Jerusalem. He's going to die on the cross. The prophecies of the Passion, he's been starting to hint at them towards what's going to happen to his disciples. They don't understand. But we know that Jesus is going to Jerusalem, where he will suffer, he will die, and he will rise for us. He will set his gaze on Jerusalem, where he will fulfill his mission, the mission of salvation. All right, that's what he's going to do. But on the way, you have a group of people, Samaritans. They don't like Jews. They don't want any part of this. They refuse to welcome Jesus. Now, what's very interesting here is a very human response from James and John. Should we just wipe them out? Should we just send fire from heaven and just destroy everything, consume it? And Jesus rebukes James and John. They're not getting it. That God's answer to our human condition of sin and death is the cross, not an army to destroy. They move on. They weren't welcomed. They just move on. And it's very instructive for us to reflect on how we then react when there is adversity to our lives as Christians. That when we're living our faith, maybe speaking up about our faith, maybe sharing our faith, and we get shut down, rejected, refused. Do we suddenly go from sweet, kind, forgiving Christians to just being mean and let's wipe them out too? Or do we just move on? See, the very interesting thing here is that for any number of reasons, people who are always watching might not be ready to hear more about Jesus, and they might reject us. They might even be cruel about it. They might completely and entirely deny any opportunity to hear the good news. How will we respond? Will we respond like James and John, out of anger? Or will we simply move on? Maybe it wasn't for us to do the Lord's work in this place and time. We just remain faithful to what we do. It's another way of saying we leave the light on and the door open, that we always are open to sharing our faith, but we're also mindful that maybe some people aren't ready or in any position to welcome it. They don't desire it. They don't want it. We still live our faith. We still live our lives. We are still faithful to Jesus. And we're going to keep an avenue open so that if someone does, after they've rejected us, if they do say, maybe I need to know a little more. Great. Are we open? Are we ready? Are we hospitable? And are we presenting the faith in an authentic way? If people don't want to hear what we have to say, if people aren't ready to talk about faith, we move on. We certainly don't react with violence. We don't react out of anger. And that, for us, friends, might be a beautiful way to look at our lives right now. It's politically charged, a lot of division in our world today. We proclaim the good news. We live authentically for Jesus. We share our faith whenever we have the opportunity. We speak about our faith when that opportunity presents itself. But more importantly, we never react with tools that come from hell. We react with the good news that comes from heaven. That Jesus Christ came into this world, suffered, died, and rose to cancel out our sins, to give us new hope, and to lead us back into right relationship with God and one another. Ultimately, in the end, we always keep a door open so that people can pass through. We always keep a light on that people see our faith and can come back home. We always are ready to share the faith. And if people aren't ready, we move on. If people aren't ready, we don't react negatively, but we continue to live for the Lord by what we say and do. God bless you all. This is Father Andrew, and I hope this podcast inspires your faith. Now, if you found it helpful, please share it with a friend, and you can help me by leaving a rating and a review. I keep all my listeners in my daily prayers, and I ask for your prayers in return. God bless you, my friends.